Samuel chapter 17. I've read to you verse 50. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, and struck the Philistine and killed him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Again, I just say to you that this is a result of a lot of things that came together for David, and things that God was a part of in David's life, in Israel's life, and it was a setup for the kingdom of God that was to come, in which Jesus would be introduced into the earth. And it's an amazing thing. I do want to make a point to you that even though David killed Goliath, he killed the Philistine with a stone and a sling, for him to be able to complete the job. So bear in mind, what he needed to do was he needed to prove that he had killed the mountain that was in his life, this enemy that was standing before him, that he had conquered it. You know, if a stone hits you between the eyes and you fall over and you lie on the ground there, I mean, you could wake up again, you could be concussed, and you could be almost dead. You could even be dead. But for sure, if your head is separated from your body, everybody knows you are now dead. And I'm just wanting to make a point here that many times you would have a victory, and sometimes it's important for you that when you have the victory, you celebrate the victory in such a way that it completely defeats your enemy. It completely defeats the situation that you come up against, and it 100% reinforces that you have achieved the dream that God has given you to accomplish. At the very least, if your dream is bigger than that and it's got more things to it, at least it will be a very big marker, a memorial in your life to do what David did. And so David ran and stood over the Philistine, and he took his sword and drew it out of his sheath and killed him and cut off his head with it. So in order for David to complete the task, he didn't have all the tools on with him. So I want to just put this to you. He had the tools to destroy Goliath. He had the tools to conquer Goliath. But for him to completely finish the job, he had to use the tools that were made available to him the minute a new situation faced him. He didn't need a sword to defeat Goliath, but he needed a sword to cut off his head. He didn't worry about what he might need once he killed Goliath. He didn't try and project victory into beyond killing the Goliath. He just took his sling, took his stone, took him out. When he was there, he realized he needed more tools to get the job done. Then the tools were available to him on the moment of his victory. He took the tools and he then used those tools to celebrate his dream completely. It's an important moment when that happens, because if you are obedient to God, you're walking in covenant, you're walking in the favor of God, and you have a victory, you are going to need a different set of tools to move on from the victory and celebrate and move into the next phase of your dream that needs to be implemented and come to pass. And so you can't think about everything all at once. Use the tools that you have in your hand. Once you've got a victory, there will be other tools. In David's case, it was his enemy's tool. He picked it up and he just cut off his head, and then he celebrated the victory. The celebration was important, and I'll talk to you about this next time. The celebration was important because, and when the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they fled. How did they see it? It wasn't because he was lying on the ground. It's because David used new tools to reinforce a victory celebration. And when they saw the absolute, complete victory, the rest of the army of the Philistines fled and ran. And so one victory leads to a whole new level of victory, and one part of your dream coming true leads to more dreams coming true. And we'll talk about that in the next session.